What is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? We just got ourselves one of the most craziest levels of fight so far already in Fairy Tail, and it has to do with the god of time, and now pretty much GodSlayer magic going against it. And we pretty much learned that GodSlayer magic is not nearly enough to beat it solo, but then we get to see just what could happen once you give that power just a little bit more of a boost. And my god, guys, this was an interesting battle to see. This just kind of gives me a new perspective of what's possible in this series simply because a lot of people don't really respect, I think, like the battling and stuff like that, because everybody kind of has the gist of what's going to happen towards the end of the day of the battle. So I think that's what kind of kills the expectation of like something beyond normal happening. So with that being said, I think at the same time that that is true, it happens in a lot of anime where there's no way they're gonna just allow the villain to pretty much end the show and be like, "Yep, and I won." Like there's not many shows that would ever go that route, including if they have no reason to. So that was just kind of the one annoying thing I had with like people in this series is like I get it that that is a thing and that is pretty sucky that they would go that route and make it so obvious that it's going to happen, but in other shows they just try to not make it as obvious and it definitely pays off better. But Fairy Tail is definitely the show that tell pretty much verbatim tells you that there's always going to be a way out with how this writing is. I mean, we had literally these two girls stuck in time in a world where only one person supposedly could move, and they just pulled out a dub. So it's those types of things that you can't be really mad that they won. You gotta be mad that the characters that he created and the power levels that he just put these characters on is absolutely like astronomically huge compared to certain other people. And I'm saying that as two characters that definitely aren't stronger than two other characters that are together are way stronger than Lucy and this other girl. And yet these two girls just beat, or practically one of them beat, a freaking like time controlling god, okay? So now put into perspective, if Urza, if Natsu, if anybody else got that power up that was needed for the God Slayer to even have the chance to win this battle, if they gave that ability um, to, someone that was much stronger than these characters we already know are. Sorry, I'm looking for people that are 69 and close to leveling. Well, I'll just go with Goku. Screw it. But it just hurts. It just hurts the overall narrative for the other characters because now you got these really cool characters that you just built up and absolutely just destroyed because you wanted your old characters to have not only a challenge but seemingly a fight to push them to their limits, which I gotta give it to Wendy. She was going in even though she didn't know that she got this zero power. Sorry, I haven't talked for like 3 hours. I yawn when I don't talk a lot, and then have to talk a lot. So for about, I want to say, 5 good amount of attacks that she gets off, she has zero powers from the third origin, and she's been pretty much tricked into thinking that she does. So she's just going in with like raw and complete abandon, like um, reckless abandon. That's the word I'm looking for. And I think that was like it was super dope. But at the same time, it seemed like a super messed up move to do um, to her friend. You know, like, hey, you got the like. You know, she pretty much pretended that Wendy had it, and she didn't say anything and let Wendy just go off. You know, um, which I understand why she did it. It's because she wanted, she literally just wanted Wendy to at least feel like she is doing the thing that she set out to do. I mean, not only is it gonna suck that you're lying to her, it's gonna suck even worse that once it's over, whoever uses this power loses their magic forever. So it's just one of these moments in these shows where they're so good at setting up these plots where sure this girl's not going to die, but she'll never be able to use any type of magic, which they put into a big perspective of if she never had magic, she wouldn't even have met a lot of the people she's met. And I think that was probably one of the more sadder parts of the story. It's just that sucks. Like supposedly she feels like she might not be able to meet anybody new anymore because she's got rid of her magic in a way, you know. So it gets down, and I feel like stuff like that is not a good enough payout for some people. People want blood. People want lives, and that's definitely a West thing. Like that's definitely our side. We want that type of stuff, but over there, from what I've witnessed and what I've seen from the reactions from some people hearing just news about like characters from Naruto maybe being gone, like Kakashi, people hated it over there, you know, and people over here are like, okay, it makes sense because who else could push Naruto, Sasuke, you know, almost the whole entire Hidden Leaf Village to become stronger and to want to set out and save everybody. You know, it's just one of those things where there's certain characters that carry so much weight and jeopardy that by losing them to other characters should be a huge improvement to their abilities, or at least if that is a thing that happens in the show, if death usually brings out more powers in anime. So I mean, this episode was sad, and at the same time, it had some very dark themes with this assassin showing up and practically just going in and trying to take the lives of um, everybody if he leaves them in this place he calls the Void. I didn't know he played DMC5. Am I right, guys? Interesting enough, it seems like towards the next episode, after taking the whole entire guild hall, it looks like he might either go a little bit out of control, like he's using some other types of magic to its fullest, and he can't hold the people in the void anymore, or Natsu and Lucy and uh, maybe even the guild master helps a little bit or something. But somehow they're gonna win, and that's what's gonna release him because we do see all. But in the actual credits, it says that he starts to target some of the guild members. So I'm not honestly sure where they're going with it, Elijah Benchley. But absolutely hype, and with Natsu showing up and having this huge scar on his face now, man, it is brutal. Like Zareth was holding back nothing against Natsu. He was going for that neck and trying to rip it completely off of Natsu's body, and that's what makes last week's episode so freaking hype, guys. I'm pretty ecstatic to know that whatever comes next with Fairy Tail is just another battle after another battle after another battle, and then maybe a little bit of backstory to tell you about this battle. You know what I mean? Like that's all this final season is about at towards this point. I mean, it took a little while to get to a point like this, but at the same time they were building up not only a story, but they were showing us what everybody had gone through from a like a 10-year skip or something like that, you know, like a decent time had gone by and everybody's different than what they were from the previous time we seen him, so that was a good way to spread out some of these action-packed episodes. Not only that, show us that whoever had left and done whatever they'd done had increased their powers tremendously. So great stuff, Fairy Tail. This is how you do a time skip, even though they did do a time skip already, and this one seems like it was relatively quick too, to throw in another time skip like back to back. It's alright because it helped this story get to tell a very like believable, fun like scenario right now. So I'm not complaining about it at all. If you guys do enjoy this, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Your boy out here grinding on that daily. I will have some stuff dropping tomorrow, some Boruto and Grim the Note, the animation. So if you enjoy either of those, make sure you have that notification bell on, and it will be dropped very soon. So with all that being said, my anime people, peace.